We're back in the historic university city of Dunedin. Built by Scottish settlers, the Edinburgh of the South is famous for its grand buildings, beautiful coastline and friendly wildlife. And, of course, a home to thousands of students who make it their home away from home. And Otago has been home to a round of the New Zealand Rally Championship since 1976. A favourite amongst the drivers for its mixture of challenging blind brows, fast straights to the rugged roads of the forests. And even though she now resides in Hamilton, still a home event for Emma Gilmore.
It'll always be my home event. Really enjoy the Otago Rally. The support I get from the locals is just fantastic, and I love the roads. They're high speed, show a certain level of commitment needed, and I really enjoy that. So looking forward to getting out there.
But it's former champion Richard Mason who everyone will be gunning for this weekend after his fantastic performance in Hawke's Bay.
To be honest, I didn't really feel that we had gone that well at Hawke's Bay. I thought we just went our normal pace, and the other guys really weren't coming along as well. So I think that really the biggest thing will be whether or not the other drivers will really go a bit faster is what it's more about.
Are you saying you can go faster as well?
I might have a bit up my sleeve still.
Hayden Patton has looked hard at his performance in round one and decided a change of tyre might save him from being the bridesmaid this weekekend.
Dunlop, they've come on board. Obviously, they're an exceptional tyre. It's what obviously 9/10 of the field here use, and Richard obviously does a lot of good things with them. So we've had a small test with them, and they feel really good. And we'll go out and do the best we can with them.
And hoping for a better showing here, Dean Sumner has more confidence in his pace notes after a miserable time at the Hawke's Bay.
We're quite lucky with this rally that we've done a lot of rally, stages previously, so we've only had to ride 2 stages of our own. So, and we've also got time in this rally to look over the in-car footage that we tape on recce. So we've got our notes. I'm really confident. We've got our notes going really, really well, so I'm happy.
And the open class gets a huge boost with the arrival of Andrew Hawkswood.
I've been waiting around for this to happen, and I'm pretty excited about running again. Unfortunately a little bit busier than I'd like to be with work and that these days, but it'll be really good to run again tomorrow.
Saturday morning, Dunedin, and despite wild weather in the previous week, it's a mild morning as Richard Mason heads to the stages from the start of the Dunedin Casino. So let's get to the stages with Emma Gilmore and our Vantage Stage preview.
Day one of my home rally, the Otago Rally, starts with the famous Warri Flat stage. 12-kilometre stage that's been run for every Otago Rally for as long as I can remember in various configurations is a great start to the rally. The stage has some tighter sections downhill, but also some faster flowing sections too. There's always lots of keen spectators at the top of the hill, where depending on the weather, we might even get some ice or snow. Stage 2, Akatua, is another traditional Otago stage. At 32 kilometres long, the stage will be a real challenge, with some fast county road type sections and some narrow muddy sections where the tyre choice will be really important. Stage 3, Gully, was a new stage last year. It's just a short stage at 6 kilometres long, but it's like just about every other stage in Otago, very, very fast. After service, we head to the famous Curry Bush stage. This stage will be the closest we'll ever get to rallying in Finland here in New Zealand. Big crest with high speeds for 15 kilometres, good pace notes and a co-driver who can talk fast are really important through here.
Right, opens over crest.
Stage 5, Mcintosh Road, is very similar to the previous stage, but with a slightly narrower road and steeper descents and hill climbs. Real crowd favourite, there'll be heaps of Otago supporters there cheering us on. After service at Waihola, we head to another famous Otago stage, Waipori Gorge. This stage is a little deceiving. It doesn't appear as being overly fast with a narrow road and big drops into the river below. But when it's been run in the past, usually the average speed is about 100 kilometres an hour. So it's very fast for a 13-kilometre piece of road. Stage 7, Glen Burnie, is the longest stage of the rally at 42 kilometres long. The stage is in a forest we've used before, but in a different configuration this time. Traditionally, the stage has some big rocks and sections which can result in punctures. Certainly what you don't want so close to the end of day one. After fitting some tarmac tyres at service, we now head out to the final stage of the day, a short promotional stage around the inner city streets in Dunedin. Definitely want to count how many laps you're doing here, as it's not a good look to finish too early or too late in front of the big Dunedin crowd.
And it's a traditional Stage 1 start at Warri Flat Forest just to the northwest of the city. 3 forwards at the end of the stage always provide some entertainment, but it's the steep climb up to the Spectator Point which is the first challenge for Richard Mason.
Well, Richard Mason's gone for the conservative approach this morning. He's gone for the medium type tyre. some of the other opposition have gone for the softer tyre. So let's see who's made the right choice. The road condition looks pretty good. It's a little bit dark there in places. Watch out for these gates as you come through. And then you go onto a nice wide highway forest road.
Next up, Hayden Paddon, currently 12 points behind the championship chase. Big question here, can he make those Dunlop tyres work for him?
Well, that will be a big question, but Hayden and his team will probably spend a large part of today dialing the car in. He's gone for the softer compound as opposed to Richard, who's gone for the medium.
Back at the start, big expectations here, Roger, with Andrew Hawkswood.
Well, it certainly is, and it's great to see him back in the open four-wheel drive car. And, it looks like he's just stalled it on the start line. Well, that'll get a bit of rush of blood going through Andrew. I sort of know quite a bit about this because I used to co-drive for him, so I know how wild he can be at times, but he's got fantastic car control.
5 left through concrete, tightens to 2. 60.
Looks like he's struggling a little bit with the car through there.
4 right, 4 left in junction.
In 2008, Emma Gilmore really threw down the gauntlet to Richard Mason on this rally. And after a podium at round 2 of the APRC the previous weekend, she should be in the right headspace too.
Yeah, she's been very consistent at Hawke's Bay, and it's a home rally. And we'll probably expect quite a bit of speed out of it. It's a nice slide through there, Emma. She's gone on soft tyres early on, so she's going for the fast stage times.
Let's see what sort of pace Richard Mason can do through here. 3 forwards to negotiate over the last 1.5 kilometres of the stage, so it would be easy to make a mistake.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see the front of the car coming airborne over that Ford. They come onto another Ford now. This is a tricky one.
Keep right now, forward big jump.
Up to the line and his time, 8 minutes and 41 seconds, .4. Now have the Dunlops work for Hayden Paddon.
Well, also that Ford, as we said earlier, is very tricky. It's only 600 metres after the first one, and it's off camber as you come into it. Well, Hayden getting near the end of the stage as he comes and negotiates this left-hand bend. But the car looks like it's behaving nicely. In fact, it went round there on rails.
So Paddon down to the line, looks very, very close. 8 minutes, 41.5, just 1/10 slower.
4 left in junction.
Andrew Hawkswood lost about 4 seconds at the start. Too much to make up on a short stage, or will it be?
Well, I would say it'll be a very exciting drive for Rocky Hudson, and you see him there just throwing it into that left-hander.
5 right through finish.
Well, have a look at the front left-hand side of the car there, and you can see the brakes glowing.
And it shows to 8 minutes 44.9 for Hawkswood. Well, in round 1, that sort of form, you'd expect Mason to be the pace setter, but still plenty of potential winners in this field. Emma Gilmore really looks like she's on the pace here too, Roger.
Yes, and she certainly attacked that forward.
100.
Get the car nice and smooth through that left-hander.
Keep right, narrow forward.
And they've got the little forward and then across the finish line.
4 right, go flat, go flat.
And some great speed too. 8 minutes 38.7, she takes the lead. And don't forget, Jeff Argyle was an early pace setter in round 1. Here too, he's up with the leaders, just 0.1 second faster than Mason. And Dean Sumner looking on the pace as well.
Double caution, 5 right, keep right, narrow forward, 4 right plus.
Let's see his time across the line. It's looking good. 8 minutes 38.2. He takes the rally lead from Gilmore. Not such a great start though for Chris West. 7th fastest. West trying out a new tyre compound though.
3 left minus, opens.
And he's never run these soft compound Yokohama tyres before, so he's probably got to spend the morning dialing the car into these tyres. Looks like he's struggling with the gear change through there, and I'll tell you what, this thing doesn't look like it's got a lot of grunt.
4 right minus, over finish. You're out.
Matt Jansen came into the rally as the lead rookie, but it was Kieran Hall who made his break on stage 1, 8th fastest, with a time of 8 minutes 48 seconds, just 10 seconds down on Sumner. Matt Jansen posted a time 4 seconds slower, but still was 9th overall. Good battle in the minor placings then.
Well, he's going to struggle if the car keeps behaving like that, so obviously Matt Jansen's got a problem with grip already.
Good battle though for the minor placings. But early bad luck for Glen Inkster with a problem late in the stage.
5 right, 6 left minus 30, caution 5 left minus into deep, rough forward, 50, this is a rough one.
Well, he's just locked up and he's gone straight ahead. Remember earlier we said that this Ford would be very tricky.
And sadly, that's the end of the day for Glen Inkster. So Stephen Barker would slot into top 10 contention. He's in an updated Evo 6 for this rally, so hoping for even better results than the Hawke's Bay debut in the championship. And speaking of debuts, after the disaster of the Evo 10s in round 1 through a Ford, how would you feel with the approach to 3 Fords in the first stage?
Well, the Evo 10 boys are approaching them very carefully as we see Kingsley Thompson go through and successfully get through the Ford.
So it's a different looking top 10 with Sumner out in front by half a second margin back to Emma Gilmore.
And Kieran Hall leading the rookie battle from Matt Jansen and Steve Barker.
Welcome back and across to the coastal forest to the south of Dunedin now in the Akatori stage. This year the stage is part new, part old roads. Features a road too which is used as a rally sprint, so is well swept with exposed bedrock. Mason starts the stage back in 4th place, so the pressure's on. Let's check out his split time after 10 kilometres.
Well, this is a very popular place. In fact, we've been coming here for about 20 years, way back in the days when Neil Allport won the championship. But Richard Mason, 5:42.5 is the split.
Hayden Patton next on the road, a disappointing 5th placed on stage 1. This is not the start he was aiming for.
No, it wasn't, but to be fair, it's probably expected. He's got the new tyres, he's got to set his car up.
His split time, he's actually ahead of Mason.
30, small crash.
So Emma Gilmore has a chance here to pull away too. What about her tyre choice? How critical is that going to be?
Well, very critical. And also the thing you might notice, the road's drying out a bit. So some of the drivers on the soft compound tyres, maybe tyre wear could be coming into it. Let's see what Emma does at the split.
4.8 minus.
Looks to be around about the same sort of pace as Mason, so can this man maintain his early rally lead? Dean Sumner, shocking start in round 1, but this morning he's driven right back into contention.
He sure has. In fact, they've got their own pace notes in the car, and I'll tell you what, Dean is on a charge up through here.
And then Hidden Junction, this tightens to 1.
They're using their own pace notes, so they're quite familiar with this.
Long 4 right minus.
In fact, he's on at 5:38.4 at the split.
Right down towards the finish, 32 kilometres this stage, so expect to see some variation in the stage times.
Well, certainly some variation, because in the middle of the stage there's a hill climb section that is swept, and some drivers will take it very cautiously so they don't get a puncher.
Down towards the finish, 19 minutes, 39.6. Mason sets up the challenge. Patton next on the road. What about his approach?
Very cautious in that section, but I'm sure he'd be on it through the stage. In fact, Hayden looking very relaxed as he comes down to the finish here.
Could be on target for a great time for Hayden Patton and Team Green. 19.26, 13 seconds quicker than Mason. So is it enough, though, to overtake second place Emma Gilmore? She's really pounded that Ford.
She certainly has, and she's certainly on aggression here. That was a big charge through that Ford.
Short 3 left, tightens to hug 2.
Well, down to the finish, you can already see that Emma is slower than Patton.
3 right.
That is surprising.
The bump 3 right.
She's lost a bit of time. 19.44.5. She's dropped back to 3rd, but it could be worse. So can Dean Sumner defend his lead?
4 left minus.
Well, Dean's just got to hold it all together here, and maybe after Emma coming through, being down on time, maybe these soft tyres are starting to go away a little bit.
Let's see the time, and it looks like a similar place to Gilmore, so we might have a new rally leader. Yes, 19 minutes, 43.3. Sumner will take third, and Patton is now the new leader. Andrew Hawkswood made up one place here, moved to fifth. High expectations, the more powerful open class cars will really shine here at Otago, but so far it's the Group N cars that have had the upper hand.
Well, they're more powerful cars, but they run a mechanical diff, not a computerised diff, so they've got to be all over the road, like you can see Andrew going across the finish line.
Can't hear. Sorry. That's all right.
Hawks would have moved ahead of Jeff Argyle, who dropped from third to sixth on this stage. Sadly, Stephen Barker was forced to retire with a blind head gasket. Chris West lost about 15 seconds with a puncture near the stage end, but was able to drive out still in 8th position.
On crest, yeah, 6 right minus on crest and 5 left plus.
Wow, that was nearly a big moment there too.
5 left minus, 4 right.
He's struggling here with his tyre. You can see it in his face.
Short, 5 left plus. Yep.
Yeah, you have, Chris. You've definitely got a flat tyre.
Kieran Hall continued to lead the rookie battle, 7th fastest on the stage, moving up to 7th place overall. Matt Jansen still the second rookie in 9th place, 30 seconds slower than Hall over the 32-kilometre stage, though.
And you can see him come round that last corner all over the road. He's got traction problems, and he's losing time to Kieran Hall all the way.
Into a 6 right plus 50.
After taking it easy through the forwards in stage 1, Kingsley Thompson, a big mover here, up 3 places to 10th. Sloane Cox now in 11th, so the two Evo 10s matching pace, just a couple of seconds apart.
50 to caution, long full left minus tightens 1, hidden in junction. This is the Spectator Corner.
Well, you see how these notes are very simple notes that David Calder's using here. Sometimes with the pace notes, we overcomplicate ourselves.
Right minus.
Josh Marsden a move from 14th to 12th despite a puncture of the stage end. And the two-wheel drive battle was Ben Jagger leading the way on stage 1 and 2. Patrick Malley lost a second through stage 1 and ended up chasing this guy here, Daniel Harris, after recovering from a puncture. And that dropped Malley back to 18th place, chasing Harris and Ben Hunt. Harris beat Jagger on stage 2, was just now 8 seconds behind. And Hunt was just a further 3.8 seconds back in 15th overall. So the top 3 two-wheel drives separated by 12 seconds. Dominic Unterberger suffered front brake loss when a hose came loose and broke on the front brakes, so he had to take it easy. Was now 19th. In the open two-wheel class, Tony Foster held the lead in 16th place. This is a locally built Fiesta, but doesn't comply with Group N spec. He was followed in 17th by Reg Cook in the Nissan Micra. Cook had pulled ahead of the Skoda of Matt Summerfield on the stage after the Skoda struck early problems. And just 2 classics in the championship field this weekend. Rob Wiley losing 10 minutes on stage 1 with problems, and that virtually handed the victory for the day to Mike Cameron, as long as he didn't strike problems. Stage 3, Cole Gully, just a 3-minute sprint to service, just over 6 kilometres.
60.
Dean Sumner won the stage in 3 minutes, 0.9 seconds, but just 1.9 seconds separated the top 5 stage times.
And long 3 left opens.
Mason, just one of 2 drivers to change position on the stage, just losing 1.4 seconds to Sumner, handing him 2nd place. The other was Patrick Malley, who crashed heavily and had to withdraw. So it's Hayden Patton with a 12.7 second lead over Sumner, just under a second back to Mason.
Andrew Hawkswood leads the open class from Jeff Argyle and Kieran Hall, leading rookie at this stage.
And Thompson and Cox with their own Evo 10 battle, with Ben Jagger leading in the two-wheel drive category. So it seems the switch to Dunlops has certainly paid off for Patton, despite wearing them out over 3 stages.
We were with a soft compound tyre this morning, which worked all right for the first stage. I wasn't quite in my space, I guess you could say, and again in the start of the second stage it worked all right, but they began to go off quite quickly, and the front of the car started to wash out in the stages. So a little bit of a surprise about the times, but no complaints.
Just having a look at the tyres, like you're saying, there's a lot of wear in them.
Yeah, we've got a lot of front wear. We're not really wearing the rear tyres still, but we'll go to a medium compound tyre. We got caught out a bit by the temperature, I guess. Normally it's quite cold here in the morning, and I was expecting the roads to be a little damp, but it was dry as a bone, so which is a bit unusual for Dunedin.
And despite taking a more conservative approach, Richard Mason is still in a strong position.
We considered going to the soft tyre this morning, but we've got to consider getting to the end of each day is more important than cracking a puncture or something like that, and like being back in 5 spots is going to be more detrimental.
Emma, big battle's going on. You're currently 4th, but gee, it's close.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a battle. It makes it a bit hard when you don't really know everyone's times, and it's a little bit hit and miss, but you've just got to keep driving as fast as possible. Car's running really well. We had a few little problems in the first stage, just getting the hang of this car. It has slightly different hand controls where the handbrake and stuff is, but no, car's good.
Tyre choice will be critical this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, the next group of stages, there's not a lot of kilometres, so we're still going for a softer tyre just for that reason. It's not going to be too hard on the tyres. And then this afternoon will be interesting because it isn't actually that cold at the moment, but it'll be quite damp in the stages, so again, we might use a soft tyre.
Dean, 2 stage wins this morning, but currently 2nd.
Yeah, bit of a better start to this rally than the previous one, that's for sure. So yeah, we're pretty happy with the car, and just I've got confidence in the car. I can give it a go, and happy with the notes, and so yeah, everything's working pretty good at the moment.
Andrew, interesting this morning at the start of first stage, we saw you stall the car and missed a gear.
Yeah, I know I've been battling a little bit this morning, just a little bit rusty, but hopefully by this afternoon we'll start coming right.
Stage times appear to be in there though.
Yeah, we're not too far away. We could do a little bit better yet.
And a special day for Ben Hunt, 21st birthday cake for the Nelson driver. Unique sing-along too from Ben Hawkins. Eat your heart out, Tiny Tim. Don't give up your day job, Ben. But a bit more serious at the Unterberger service as they fitted a new brake hose.
Yeah, we had a few issues right from the get-go, and the inside of the wheel was rubbing on the brake line, so we didn't have any brakes for the first 3 stages. So that added a few excitements in coming into the corner with having no brakes, but we got through the first 3 stages and came to the service.
Stage 4 and 5 on the coastal hills to the west of Lake Waihola in the service park, and the road is often compared to Finland, with lots of brows and lots of jumps. Mason holds the stage record here, and as the forest and the last part of the stage has been cleared, we may see their record tumble.
Well, this is a stage where you certainly trust the co-drive and you listen very carefully, because you're doing over 200 kilometres plus over these brows, and it could make the difference between winning and losing the stage.
This is the part where the stage has been cleared towards the end of the stage. Let's see his time. 7 minutes 55.8. 10 seconds off the record though. So has that been enough to check Hayden Patton's lead? The defending champion is starting to enjoy some good pace.
Well, he's certainly enjoying some good road conditions as well. Oh, he's got it a bit wrong. He's off line there. And done it again. There's an issue inside the car here. I think he's gone down to 2nd gear.
Despite that miscue, though, he was still a second faster than Mason and extends his lead out to 15 seconds. Dean Sumner just under a second in front of Mason going into the stage, so on full attack here too to try and extend his gap over 3rd place.
Pace notes are crucial. Let's listen to Paul Fallon as he goes through here.
Max crest 150, 7 left minus 30, crest 30 and 4 right plus.
Remember the target time is 7 minutes 56 to stay in front of Mason.
And 5 left Titan. This is 5 left Titan.
And he can't do it. 7:59.6. The Sumner drops to 3rd. Emma Gilmore just half a second behind Sumner through the stage, so she'll retain 4th place with just a 3.5 second gap back to Sumner. Finally, some improvement too for Chris West as he gets used to these new tyres. The team made some changes in service, and West posted the 5th fastest time on the stage.
Well, as well as having the new tyres, Chris West has also got a new co-driver for this round, Chris Cobbin.
But he was Still 7th overall behind the 2 open class cars of Andrew Hawkswood on a mission. Jeff Argyle as well, despite the extra power. Hawkswood was 10 seconds slower than Patton through here.
Well, we saw the nice slide past the crowd there, as Andrew always does to the crowd. He loves the crowd, and I tell you, the crowd loves him as well. Well, just see how he's got the car airborne over there. And he throws it into this right-hander.
Jeff Argyle, 13 seconds back in 6th place at his Lancer Evo 7, having cured a misfire at service. Kieran Hall still leading rookie, but dropped back to 8th behind West here. He was followed by the Evo 10 of Kingsley Thompson in 9th. Thompson and Sloane Cox had both overtaken Matt Jansen on this stage.
Away, don't go wide, 118.
Cox starting to find the pace that so far eluded him in the championship.
Right, minus
well,
50.
A brand new car this year in the Evo 10, and also a new co-driver, David Calder. So a lot to get used to for the young fella this year.
Keep in and long 3 right. Small crest. 7 left.
Just an 8-kilometre sprint back to service at Lake Waihola now, and Roger the stage famous for some big jumps.
Yes, it sure is, as the crowd are getting ready there for the big jumps. They come off this very fast, wide section onto the tarmac, and then they come onto a very narrow section towards the end of the stage, and that's where the big jumps are, and they are big jumps.
Crest, rough 100 to bottom, 100.
Look at John Kennard's face over that one as they get here.
Short 3 left, tidy. Very long 7 left, cut. 80. 5 right over grid, tightens 4 plus to finish. Flip, 4 left, minus opens.
And Patton's time at that finish, 4 minutes 39.9, 2 seconds off the stage record. Right, who's got the bragging rights with the big jumps in Richard Mason's attack?
Well, it's attack coming off the gravel there, and a big attack into the narrow section as well. So I think we're in for some big jumps here with Richard Mason. Let's sit back and have a look.
Middle to left, 6 to left, and 5 right minus, 30, 6 left plus, over crest, 13.
But here's the big one.
Crest, keep right, 250, caution, 4 left minus, don't cut, repeat, 4 left minus, don't cut. That was cool.
Had it worked too, because he was a second faster. Jeff Argyle, Andrew Hawkswood putting the extra power to good use too, to be 3rd and 4th fastest here. Now let's just go on board and enjoy the jumps Andrew Hawkswood style.
6 right minus, 7 left, 50, double caution, big jump, 250.
Oh, that's not the Andrew I remember. He backed off.
4 left.
So the top 10 after stage 5, Patton with a 14.2 second lead. But look at Gilmore. She's closed to within 0.2 seconds on Sumner.
Karen Hall and Kingsley Thompson continue as the top rookies in 8th and 9th place.
Outside the top 10, Matt Jansen, not on the same pace in round 1. In fact, the Christchurch driver struggling for grip through the day. So now the 3rd rookie down in 11th. And a cautious approach by Christchurch driver Josh Marston had the rookie over a minute back in 12th. Ben Jagger now the leading 2-wheel drive and fastest in the Fiesta class battle in 13th overall. But he had a battle on his hands as Nelson driver Daniel Harris had really stepped up. Harris was just 10 seconds behind in this Fiesta, 14th overall. These two had pulled away from 3rd place birthday boy Ben Hunt, who was 25 seconds back in 15th. But concerns back in service for Team Green after Hayden Patton's miscue.
Yeah, look, I just made a simple driving error, pretty amateurish in the first stage here. Just ran a bit wide into the grass and flattened 5th and went to go sleep 4th and got 2nd and just jammed in 2nd for a few seconds and spun things up, and now it seems like we've either damaged the gearbox or red-earth, but just trying to diagnose which one now.
Hopefully they can fix it for your sake anyway, because you're currently leading the rally.
I see, I haven't even had a chance to think about time. So, no, these guys, they're awesome when it comes to getting the car patched up, so I'm sure they'll get it on the road and away and flying again.
Richard, we just had word from a few spectators at stage 5. It was pretty exciting for you.
Yeah, we had a big jump on Mcintosh Road, biggest I've ever done over that big rise, so it was awesome.
So now you know it's flat.
Oh, it was absolute. It's always been absolute, but I'm pretty sure that I've always sort of dragged the brake a little bit on it, and I made sure I kept my foot right off the brake this time.
Emma moving up the order this morning, maybe third at the moment.
Yeah, we're a little bit disappointed with that group of stages. We chose the wrong tyres, went out with a soft tyre and they were just rolling over too much. Like, you'd sort of think you had the car in the corner and it would just keep sliding wide. So we wasted a lot of time just not getting good drive out of the corners. So after 23 Ks, the tyres look like they've done 50. So, yeah, definitely made the wrong tyre call. But, yeah, we're still doing okay and still a lot of kilometres to go this afternoon.
But neither of the open class cars have shown their full potential as yet.
You know, I'm sort of lost for answers at the moment. I need to... we're going to have a serious think about what I'm doing and what the car's doing and find out where I'm losing time against them, because I'm obviously just not trying hard enough. I think it's probably what it comes down to.
And after Ben Jagger had pressured Mally into a mistake, now he had to hold off his competition.
I haven't really been keeping up with the times of the other boys. I've just been trying to play my own game, really. But, yeah, that's good to hear. It seems like it's all working out.
Got a bit of a break on the others. It's about 20-odd seconds.
Oh, yeah. We'll try and go into these stages this afternoon and try and extend that a bit and come into the street sprint and have a bit of fun.
Welcome back, Rally Otago. Another traditional stage. Waipori Gorge winds its way above a river before delivering the cars into the heart of the Berwick Forest. These next two stages are make or break for the drivers. The question was, did Hayden Padden have a big enough lead to defend if Richard Mason could back on the pace? And here we are, on board with Mason.
Well, Richard will be putting his head down this afternoon and really going for it, because he's got a bit of time to make up on Hayden.
Caution, finish 3 right opens. 60.
Let's see his time through the stage. 8 minutes. That's 8 seconds off the record. Mason may have a problem here. Okay, Padden with a 14-second lead. Can he extend it?
Class 6 left opens.
Or will that diff problem slow him down?
Well, talking about the diff problem, you can actually hear it, but the boys didn't have time to change the diff, and it's noisy in that car.
80. Flat 7 right. 80.
Well, he's down on time on Richard.
4 right minus line.
And that's dropped his lead to 8 seconds. In the battle for third, remember, less than a second between Dean Sumner and Emma Gilmore. Emma looks like she's on for a good result here.
100, 4 left, 100, 5 right, 120, medium small crest, 3 right.
8 minutes 05.3, second fastest so far. So is that enough to take third off Sumner? Tight, twisty stage, remember. Suited to the Subarus. Sumner has to be faster than 8 minutes 5.5 seconds to stay in front.
4 left. This is 4 left. 16. Short 6 right. This is short 6 right. 80 in caution. Finish at 3 right. Opens. This is 3 right.
No, he can't do it. He slips to fourth. Andrew Hawkswood and Jeff Argyle continue the battle for fifth. Argyle winning the battle on the stage, but Hawkswood staying in front and fifth overall. The rookie battle thinned out at this point. Kieran Hall had pulled 30 seconds on the chasing Evo 10 of Kingsley Thompson. But that was all about to end abruptly for Thompson.
To 4 left plus.
That's not so good for Rich.
No.
Well, you can see he's just dropped that right rear into a ditch as he's coming in here. And he drops it in there and it just pulls the car straight into the bank, and there's some big damage done on this Evo 10. And I'll tell you what, he must have been close to the river.
Oh, we got a little bit wide coming in the, I think it was 5 left here, and it tightened a bit. We had a bit of understeer and ended up getting wide in the ditch and punched into a rock. So unfortunately hit that and ended up catapulting down onto the river flat here.
So a monster stage to finish the gravel part of the leg before a spectator special around the Dunedin streets to finish off the day. And what a mammoth effort by defending classic champ Rob Wiley after losing 10 minutes on stage 1. He clawed back the time to overtake Mike Cameron and take the classic win.
Well, to be fair to Mike Cameron, I think that car's certainly down on power at the moment.
Tony Foster had taken back the open two-wheel drive lead, only to roll out again on the last stage. So Reg Cook claims second in the class in his Kiwi 2 Nissan. While the little biodiesel burning Skoda of Matt Summerfield led their class home. 15th overall, 4th in the two-wheel drive, Dominic Unterberger after his early brake problems. 3rd for scholarship driver Ben Hunt. Harris was 27 seconds in front and second with a similar gap in front to class leader Ben Jagger. This is Jagger's first outright fastest two-wheel drive placing on a rally. Seems the young Northland driver has turned up the speed for the second round. Just 3 rookies finished the day. Josh Marston, 11th overall. Matt Jansen struggled for grip, as she found out too through the spectator stage, hitting a curb, and lucky to finish 10th overall. Having to write his own pace notes, it cost Sloane Cox, struggling to make top 10 times, but the experience gain should see an improvement soon, but at least he was ahead of the junior driver standings.
15.
So Kieran Hall took the top points for the rookie series here. A trouble-free run. Finally some improvement for Chris West today with a change of a softer tyre, Roger.
Yeah, well, they'll probably spend all day trying to dial into this tyre, but once he gets used to it, the car will definitely be faster.
7th place, some way off the top 3 he was hoping for. And we're yet to see too the promise from the older open class cars. Jeff Argyle having a trouble-free run in the afternoon, but ending up 6th overall behind Andrew Hawkswood. In fact, Hawkswood was second fastest through the forest stage on stage 7, but lucky to get out of the trouble here.
Well, the car's all over the road at the moment. I suspect he's probably got major tyre wear problems. In fact, that just proves that they're way offline, and Andrew just gathers it back again.
After a great start, Dean Sumner just couldn't get past Emma Gilmore over the last 2 stages, but it was just 5.7 seconds in the end between 3rd and 4th, so Sumner definitely back on the pace, setting up a good chase on day 2.
Yep, Dean's driven very well today. Big improvement.
3 left, Tyson.
So 3rd place for Gilmore. In the end, the gap to 2nd was over 20 seconds, so she had dropped off the pace over the afternoon, but still had the sense to win the last stage of the day in front of a large crowd, many of whom were members of her own fan club.
Open long.
Yeah, well done to Emma. 3rd place once again, 3rd time in a row.
Hayden Patton had an 8-second lead going into stage 7, but 42 kilometres is a long way to defend that lead against a driver like Richard Mason, especially with the potential problem in the diffs. The stage has a lot of mix of twisty, tight stuff, also long straights, so both Mitsubishi and Subaru would shine on different parts of the stage.
And Richard Mason's really got his head down. He's on a charge here. He also knows that Hayden's got a problem with the car, so he's really moving.
Mason's time, 24:44.9. Is that enough?
Well, Sarah's pretty happy about it.
Hayden Patton on the stage now. He's had the pace all day, but Roger, the team green, of course, concerned about the possible drivetrain damage.
Yeah, and that would probably be going on in Hayden's head as well. He'd be worried about that. Trying to get the car to the end because you can hear the noise.
Flat right crest, 100.
While the time to beat for Patton to retain the lead is 25 minutes. Already it looks like he's slower than Mason. Yes, this is a lead change, 25.
That's it.
07.4.
Struggling with that loose stuff again.
Yeah.
And that's how they would finish with no changes around the streets of Dunedin. Mason takes the win by 14.8 seconds from Patton. What a turnaround. Emma Gilmore just gets 3rd.
And well done to Kieran Hall, first rookie, and also Sloane Cox, first junior.
And Ben Jagger, fastest two-wheel drive and the top Fiesta for the day.
Yeah, no, that's the perfect start to the weekend. It didn't come easy to us this weekend, which was a nice surprise. It was good to be pushed and really a bit of chasing there and got it on the last stage, which was fantastic.
Vert's just on